Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're Team Albuquerque. My name's Adia Gato.
I'm Macarita.
My name is Rancy Olatosi.
My name's Anais Delgado.
And I'm David.
And our presentation is Student Art Solutions.
So I just want y'all to imagine that I'm a father coming down to the event center for my 12-year-old son's AAU tournament. And we're in between games. There's about like an hour and a half till the next game. And my son, he comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, Pops, let's get something to eat." So I got my son, I got his friend, one or two of them, and then we exit the event center, we just look down south, and we're like, hey, there's a downtown area there must be something to eat there. So we decided to continue walking towards that downtown area, but instead of seeing cars going up and down, left and right, as we would expect to see in any downtown area, we just see some empty streets. Instead of seeing businesses bustling with activity from restaurants and shops all over, lights strung all across the sidewalks, we see windows that are boarded up, nailed down. And it just leads me to believe that this isn't what I expected to see when coming to a downtown area. So I think I should go ahead and take my business and eat somewhere else.
And this is a very common theme, which I'm sure you guys are aware of, but that we kind of picked up in our conversations with community members. So our vision is to kind of tackle this at its roots. He's obviously very afraid of the downtown area, so that's where we want to focus. And in our talks with community members, they kind of highlighted the history and heritage of Rocky Mount. So we decided we want to implement that in our solution, but also keeping in mind what the community stakeholders want, which is to make the downtown area an economically prosperous space for people, and also to obviously retain visitors. So I'm going to let Adia kind of get into the specifics of our project, but we wanted to focus on making it a welcoming and safe environment for these visitors.
Yeah, to put it simply, when we spoke to the mayor a few days ago, he had said that this downtown needs more art. That was a quote from him. He said we could even put sheets on these buildings and just have some art downtown, something to bring some vibrance. And having stayed at North Carolina Wesleyan these past few days, we've been in the dorms, we've kind of gotten a sense of what it feels like to be in this kind of isolated community, North Carolina Wesleyan, and how that connects to the broader Rocky Mount community. So one thing we really wanted our solution to focus on was, one, bringing life, art, and vibrance to downtown Rocky Mount, and also connecting the North Carolina Wesleyan University to the greater Rocky Mount community. So our solution, Student Art Solutions, is a two-program approach. The first being a simple program that gives students in the art minor at North Carolina Wesleyan class credit for painting for the city. And when we spoke to community members the past few days, they had given us a lot of ideas and advice, and one of the biggest ones was to expand this to Nash Community College, Edgecombe Community College, and possibly even the local high schools, and maybe even ECU, 30, 45 minutes away. And we also, from these community members, had the idea to kind of expand this into somewhat of a mentorship program between college students and high school students. It doesn't just have to be students who are studying art. The art programs here aren't as rich as maybe the business programs and finance programs, but there are a lot of students willing and able to paint for the city, and that's kind of the premise of this program. And we imagine that the Rocky Mount Art Center could be a great facilitator for this program, and it could just be something that brings the community together. Anais will be explaining the second part of our program.
Okay. So we are proposing a community mural competition. We're inviting members of our community to create a design that reflects the values, culture, and history of Rocky Mount. The selected winners of this competition will be able to bring their design to life and paint the mural on a wall of a building in downtown Rocky Mount. We're hoping that this helps bridge the divide between Edgecombe and Nash County while also promoting community, unity, and diversity. We're hoping to advertise this event by posting on social media, reaching out to local newspapers and news outlets, as well as being in touch with the Rocky Mount Art Center and local colleges and high schools in the area. We're hoping to fund this competition by applying for the Rocky Mount Downtown Development Grants, the Rocky Mount Accelerated Facade Improvement Grants, and the Rocky Mount Tourism Development Authority Grants.
Yeah. On top of that, we were told that students at North Carolina Wesleyan typically don't venture into downtown or hang out there, and that's kind of another hopeful consequence of this program, is that students will be more willing to just engage with the city that they live in and really see what all that it has to offer, all that we've learned it has to offer in just the past 2 or 3 days living there, that I'm sure many of you, having been residents here your whole life, know how much vibrance there is to this town.
So I want y'all to imagine 5 years in the future. I'm the same father taking my now 17-year-old son to another AAU tournament at the event center, and just like 5 years ago, he comes up to me, "Yo, Pops, let's get something to eat." So I got him, I got his same friends, we exit the event center, we turn down south to the downtown area that we remember as being dull and empty, but this time, we see something different. We see vibrance, we see colors, yellows and reds and blues all around. We see murals telling a story that we don't understand, but we're intrigued to find out. So instead of going somewhere else like we did 5 years ago, we stay in that downtown area. We explore. We spend our money in the businesses around. We learn more about the culture that Rocky Mount has to offer. It's not what we expected to see, but it's somewhere we're trying to be, somewhere we're trying to learn more about, somewhere we're trying to explore. And that's the goal of this, to create an aesthetic, an area that is comfortable and inviting for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feedback and comments.
Well, I think y'all did an excellent job, and I like your enthusiasm because you're certainly interested very much in your assigned project. Have you identified any potential places for future art as you work with Wesleyan students or others where they can go and see how big it could be and where it could be? Is it just building walls, or are you proposing some art on some of the boards, unfortunately, that are in front of some abandoned buildings?
Yeah, I think that when we were thinking about the logistics of it, it could take a few different forms. When we spoke to Mo a few days ago, he had talked about how sheets in front of buildings, just as a temporary solution, could be something as buildings are fixed in the future. So I think that could be something, especially if this program caters more towards high school students, something a little, not lower effort, but a little easier, kind of a stepping stone could be those temporary solutions for the murals. And as far as the specific larger murals go, I'm thinking back to the one I saw of that big blue waterfall.
Right.
I think just bigger, larger walls like that could be a spot, but I don't think I have specific buildings in mind.
And if I could add on to that, we've kind of talked about the idea of businesses wanting these murals on their buildings. It can obviously be harmful to a business to just have these walls that are extremely barren. But maybe having these murals might entice customers to want to come into the store.
You know, I think that's a great idea, and as my office is downtown, obviously, and with the murals we have here already, I see a significant number of people coming in during the week that actually walk around and they're taking pictures of it, which is really impressive, and this would just add to it, and it would brighten up what is frankly a kind of a dull downtown area that needs some assistance. Great ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Great presentation. I understood what you all, your assessment of downtown. One of the myths is about not being safe, so we don't want to have that as a misnomer about our downtown, and to bring vibrance and art. Art is one of the main things that we see in other cities. They're bringing people together, conversation, and the idea, the solution that you had to get students from Wesleyan, the community college and high school, I think is a wonderful idea. We have one of the state-of-the-art museum, which is the Imperial Center, old tobacco factory, which is very beautiful, that been renovated for the last, over 20 years. And so bringing those ideas together, I think that would help us to reinvigorate our downtown. As you stated, when you come to downtown, at the event center, you want to stay downtown, spend your money. The history, the culture of downtown. I noticed you had one of the murals of Thelodious, well, not Thelodious Monk, but Luther Barnes and others, Kay Kaiser. The one of the most attractive ones that people come here to also look at is the Thelodious Monk. And that's what we are doing with the Monk to Mill Trail. And so bringing all that together, I think that would be a wonderful thing for our downtown. So great presentation.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.